So we're actually ahead of schedule right now by 3 minutes. Well, 2 minutes, I guess, before our live stream is technically supposed to start for this. So hello, first of all, Thomas and Jack Isenhart are up in the upper right there. You guys can unmute your microphones. And we have Athena Ousley, all of 6 years old, made the Sandcastle. And Nick Hemmerling as well, made The First Date.
Howdy. I'm keeping my
And
mic
Nolan
off.
Blofsky over here was the maker of Friend. So we should preface that first, our K-12 student category included for Nick and Nolan, you can take your mask off, it's okay for this portion at least. Our safety protocols in the theater, by the way, are that people should leave their masks on unless they're eating or drinking something. Just part of the ongoing process with COVID. You know, we appreciate your cooperation on that. So as I mentioned before we started this block, in August, Klamath Film led a student film camp that was supported by several grants, and that was going to be an in-person camp. The idea being that we would spend a week with teenagers teaching them some of the basics of filmmaking. It was a very rigorous course, a lot of information thrown their way. We taught them everything about script writing, storytelling, cinematography, lighting, sound, editing, and every day we had a different guest come in from the film industry to talk about what they do within their specific field. We had professional editors, we had a Hollywood actor join us. One of the people who joined us, a director, is actually in the house with us. Thank you very much, Roland, for being a part of that. And Nolan and Nick were two of our participants in that camp. We had to do it online because of COVID. But we were going to give one film from that camp, what we thought was the best film, a $100 prize, and include it in our film festival for our K-12 block. And Nolan's film and Nick's films were so good, we decided to split the prize and include both of their films. So with that, Athena and Nick and Thomas, please unmute your mics so that you can participate in this as well. This is our Q&A for our K-12 student films. So Nolan and Nick were both part of our film camp. So maybe we should start off with both of you as far as your experiences, if you had made any films previously and how you came about with your stories. Nolan, why don't we start with you on stage and then we'll go to Nick.
Well, I've made kind of like YouTube-ish videos with my friends before, but I never tried to make an actual film. So this was a first experience for me.
Terrific. And Nick, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sorry, my dog is losing her mind just a little bit, so I'm trying to keep my mic off. In terms of film experience, my mom has made films before, has worked on films, and is really involved in the local film community. So I had exposure to it, but other than doing little stop motion things when I was 5, I didn't really make anything myself.
So for both of you, what was the experience like spending a week learning filming and then being able to actually make a film on your own?
I thought it was pretty fun. It was kind of hard to get everything super fast, but it was pretty fun to do.
Nick, your thoughts on the film camp?
Yeah, I thought it was really nicely structured. I think when you're trying to learn a creative skill like this, you can get bogged down in trying to get a ton of stuff right. But when you're on a time limit like that, when you're on a really harsh schedule, it kind of pushes you to just make something, which is good.
As a reminder to our audience in-house, there's 2 microphones on either side. If someone wants to ask a question, you can walk up to that mic and there's a little X on the floor and they'll hear you over the live stream. Athena, hello Athena. How are you doing, Athena?
Hi, good.
Athena joined us on Friday night for our opening night kickoff party, and she made the wonderful stop-motion film, The Sandcastle. Athena, do you want to explain how you made The Sandcastle?
I had to make all the pieces with my mom, and then I animated it by myself, where I had to move it a little bit, then take a picture, and then do that over and over again, thousands of times.
So thousands of photos were taken to make a film that's about 1.5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
How long did you spend making your animated film?
4 days.
4 days. And if I remember correctly, you said that you found out about filmmaking because your school went to OMSI, right?
My family went to
Oh,
OMSI.
your family went to OMSI. Okay. And what did you learn at OMSI that made you want to make a short film? Oh, Athena, your mic got muted for a second there. We lost your sound. There we go. Okay, can you say that again, please?
I got to make a stop motion film there.
And so that made you want to make your own film?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Up there as well, we have Thomas and Jack Isenhart brothers, and they had 2 films in our K-12 student block. Hello, guys. What got both of you into filmmaking?
Well, we've always been really interested in filmmaking since a young age. Just like Nick, we started out with stop motion videos, but we eventually transitioned over to live action, and we've been making, comedy videos for 4 years now. And yeah, it's been really fun.
We have a question from our audience over here.
Aha. Athena, I'm wondering about the person that was in your animated thing. It looked like it had little joints of tape or something. Is that how you moved the figure?
I used Brad so that I could move the figure.
Ah, brilliant.
Fantastic. Nick, how did you come up with your story concept for the first date?
So the structure of the camp and what we got in the concept we got introduced to was basically reverse engineering a film, because we were, in quarantine, and that puts a lot of constrictions on the kinds of stories that you're able to tell. And so basically I was thinking about, okay, what do I have that I can tell a story with? And I have a really big wardrobe and a lot of weird random clothing in said wardrobe. And I was like, okay, how do I make a film where I can do a crap ton of costume changes? Like, what scenario is there where you're changing your clothes all the time? And I was like, oh, prepping for a first date, because you're trying to make the right impression. So you just go through all of these weird things. And even if you're not putting on like overalls and a cowboy hat, you may feel equally ridiculous, just trying all sorts of odd combinations. So yeah.
Fantastic. Nolan, do you want to explain how you came up with your concept for Friend?
Yeah, me and my friend were just talking about like what we wanted to do, and then we were just like saying a bunch of ideas, and then we just landed on that one.
Terrific. Thomas and Jack, the poisonous salamander idea. Why don't you tell us the story of how you came up with the concept for a poisonous salamander?
So we kind of grew up where we were always out in the woods and nature, hanging out with our friends. And I remember as a little kid, my parents used to tell us all the time, like, if you pick up a salamander, you have to come wash your hands because they are poisonous. And I just found the concept so funny that such a cute little creature could be poisonous. So I just really wanted to make a film where someone actually died from eating one, just because the idea is just so ludicrous to me. So that's where it started. Is I just wanted like the absurdity of someone eating a salamander.
And then also the idea of making a film about a cult for boys.
Yeah, that was more my idea. I just found it funny how a lot of times, different groups like boys clubs have these weird initiation processes, and like the things they do are kind of cultish. So I was like, I wonder how far I can push that joke and how crazy I can, make it seem.
Athena, if you could unmute for a second. I know that this was your film and that you put lots and lots of work into it, but you did get some family help, right? So your grandpa and your mom helped out too. Can you explain how they helped?
Grandpa did the music, Mom helped with cutting out the pieces, and Dad helped with the editing.
Fantastic. Nolan, your film, I believe Nick and Nolan both shot with just cell phones, right? And that was kind of the camp concept was that you can make a film from home with very minimal gear as long as you know kind of what you're doing. So what was that film process like? What I like about your film is even though you're doing it with a phone, there's a lot of camera movement in it. There's constant movement and it's very smooth. So how did you pull that off?
Well, we just got one of my other friends and then gave him my phone to record on, and we just like kind of told him where to go and frame scenes.
Okay. Had you ever done any sort of video editing prior to this?
Kind of like basic on iMovie, and then I just kind of did more of it in that film.
Okay. Learning process from it. What sort of things did you pick up in the course of making Friend versus some of the stuff you dabbled with previously?
I learned how to write scripts and then make better shots and then edit a little bit better than I used to.
Nick, how about you? The experience in the film camp and filming and editing. What did you pick up that you can apply going forward?
Geez, I mean, a lot. Um, I will absolutely give my mom some credit because for the most part, I did a lot of like the pre-production side and she did a lot of the post-production side. So certainly scripting, set dressing, lighting, camera work, camera angles. Those were all things that I had a pretty big hand in, and skills that I didn't have before. So, yeah, anything under that umbrella.
Thomas and Jack, I know you guys have your own little YouTube channel, and now Thomas is actually part of the SOU cinema program, right?
Yeah, I am.
So now off doing college. I know it's a weird year to try to be a college student right now. Well, it's a weird year to be a student regardless, but so you're now
Yeah.
trying to pursue filmmaking full-time professionally, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
How many films would you say that you and your brother have made together over the last few years?
My channel says like 130, but there was a lot of films we've made that we didn't upload. So,
But that's fantastic that you are constantly filming and constantly just experimenting with ideas. Where do your ideas and concepts come from? I know the Colt one kind of came from a scholarship presentation, and
yeah.
the Salamander one came from your mom lecturing you not to do things. But is real life kind of where you get a lot of your story concepts, or just do you brainstorm on stuff?
Most often we just take things that happen in real life and just, up it to the point where it's just ridiculous. But sometimes, we brainstorm or we get a group of friends to brainstorm and we just, think of a few video ideas, write them down and pursue the ones we think have the most chance of success, I guess.
Nolan or Nick, are either of you two thinking about going into filmmaking as a career down the line?
Yeah.
You'd like to be a professional filmmaker now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas for future projects, Nolan?
Kind of. Me and my friends just kind of talk about it every once in a while.
Okay. Nick, how about you? Are you looking at going into acting or filmmaking or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, what I love to do is storytelling and any sort of medium for that. I'm absolutely interested in. So whether that's in front or behind the camera, on a stage, in a book, I don't know, anything.
Fantastic. And Athena, hi Athena. Uh, I know the Sandcastle took a long time and you put a lot of work into it. After making that film, are you thinking about doing any other films in the future?
Yes.
Do you have ideas of what sort of films you're going to make yet?
I already know what film I'm gonna make.
Can you tell us about it, or is it a big secret?
It's like Day of the Dead, the skeletons coming from the land of the dead to the land of the living to celebrate Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I know you're in Ashland, and Nick, you're in Ashland too. Did everyone make it out okay from the fires?
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah,
survived?
we're good. We evacuated because of smoke, but that was of our own choice. So it was all good.
How about you guys up there, that Isenhart set? Did you guys make it through okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Fantastic. Do we have any other questions from our audience? Oh, hey, Haley, flip on the mic there. Okay. Your mics are muted, guys. Thomas, Jack?
Huh?
There. Did you hear Haley's question?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I guess we didn't have that mic connected. Okay, so the question was the dynamic of you two working together. Is one primarily the writer and the other does the filming? Like, how do you two work together as brothers and in coming up with your films?
I would say the responsibilities are actually pretty shared. I will admit he's a lot better editor than I am, but I still like to try. And I think he would acknowledge I'm probably a little bit better at writing dialogue, but a lot of times he has the cooler story concepts. But even when we film with our friends, they help write the scripts. They give advice for editing stuff and they have lots of good acting advice. So it's usually pretty collaborative when we do stuff. It's always a good time.
We've broken it down to a really good system where I make the structure of the videos and then he writes the dialogue to the videos, and it's worked for us pretty well.
Terrific. Well, let's get some final thoughts of being a part of Klamath Independent Film Festival and your experience with your film. Nolan, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Just enjoyed it a lot.
Fantastic. Nick, is there anything that you'd like to say about your participation in the film camp or being a part of Klamath Independent Film Festival, or anything you'd like to say to our audience?
Yeah, just a big thank you for the opportunity. It's really cool to have been a part of this, and being on this panel even is like really neat. Just to be in a group with a bunch of other folks, young filmmakers. I think it's pretty neat. So thank you.
Thomas and Jack, anything you'd like to say?
It's been really fun. We really wish we could have made it in person. I'm sure we would have enjoyed it a lot, but we've enjoyed the time.
And Athena, if there's anything that you would like to say.
Thank you. I will participate again.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you to all of our K-12 student filmmakers. Tonight at 7:15, we'll do our awards ceremony for Klamath Independent Film Festival, and we will live stream that. So all of you have an online pass, those of you who can't be here. And Nolan, if you're sticking around for the day, enjoy the rest of our films. And then we'll do an awards ceremony where we will announce who our winner is of our K-12 student film category. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And for the rest of the day, all of you have passes, so go watch some films and enjoy. And hopefully we'll see some projects from you again in the future. Athena, Nick, Thomas, Jack, and Nolan, thank you so much for being a part of the Klamath Independent Film Festival.
Thank you.